Hello again and welcome back to Football Spine Line on the morning after Carlos Tevez succeeded in putting himself back into the shop window ahead of the January transfer window. We start today with surprise, Man City. They say they haven't made a £130 million bid to sign the Real Madrid keeper Iker Casillas. That's a story that broke after we recorded yesterday's show, and this is today's Telegraph. But that denial's only come after Casillas himself insisted he didn't fancy leaving the Spanish champions for the team struggling near the bottom of the Premier League. They obviously did test the water and were told where to go. Earlier this week, we told you that David Moyes was moving for the out-of-contract Henrik Larsson as Everton have big striker problems. Aston Villa want Larsson too on a loan deal, according to the Daily Record. Not sure I could see the sense in that. He'd be mostly on the bench at Villa. They've got some good strikers already, and if they get Santa Cruz or Heskey, Larsson just won't play. He'll play at Everton. Now, never mind Paul Ince at Blackburn. Roy Keane's under big pressure at Sunderland. The Mirror's Football Spy reports today that he'll decide by the end of this day here if he's staying, and the Times shed some light on just why it's gone bits up for Keane. If you've got a good memory, you'll remember last summer that right here on this show we said although Keane was a legendary player, you wouldn't really trust him to do your shopping. He spent £5 million on Michael Chopra from Cardiff, even though he'd only scored one Premier League goal. He spent £9 million on Craig Gordon, who had made his name playing in Scotland, enough said. And he spent £2.5 million on the right-back Greg Halford, who couldn't get into the Reading side. And he spent £4 million on Andy Reid, who looks like he should be at Weight Watchers. I can talk. Now, time for your emails, and just to be with her says, welcome back, Darren. We still need to go out for that orange juice. Yeah, that's right, we do. He also says that I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that Anelka's stolen Drogba's fire as the top striker at Chelsea. Is that true, Chelsea fans? Footy Arsenal says Arsenal need to buy a centre-back, Micah Richards, a centre midfielder, Marcos Senna from Villarreal, and a centre-forward, John Carew. Richards would cost too much, I think, and for me, Carew's not an Arsenal player, but Senna, he is a decent player. Rayner says here, what do you think of Arsenal striker Nicholas Bentner? I think he's dreadful. Well, McBlaze answers the question for me. He says he has his on-off days. When he's good, he's really good. When he's bad, he's shocking. And by the way, Arsenal have only really been linked with the Barca midfielder Yaya Toure, but I don't think he's going to go. Now, more emails later, including your efforts at a joke as good as the one that Nicolas Anelka likes. Some more gossip for you. The Star say that Wigan boss Steve Bruce will complete a permanent deal for the £1.5 million left-back Maynor Figueroa next month. I have to confess, I don't know too much about him, so we're going to check him out, let you know what we think tomorrow. 3 stories in the Sun to bring you. We like their notice board that they had back in the summer, but they're not doing it anymore. I don't know why. But anyway, they say that Everton boss David Moyes is looking to bring in David Nugent from Portsmouth if his move for Larsson doesn't come off. Fair enough, Nugent will come cheap, but he can't get into the Pompey side. Not a good player for me. Now, elsewhere in the Sun, they say that the Ajax super striker Klaas-Jan Huntelaar chose Real Madrid over Man City because they were the wrong Manchester club. United really have missed the boat. For me, you know my feelings on that. And the Sun also say that Southampton will be forced to sell 2 of their top young players to avoid going into administration and picking up a 10-point penalty. The players are striker Adam Lallana and midfielder Andrew Sermon. They'd pick up around about £1.5 million. And I like this in the Mail. You know Robinho's been trying to persuade Mark Hughes at City to buy the Fluminense centre-back Thiago Silva. Well, while Hughes has been fiddling, Chelsea have stepped in and offered him a contract. If City miss out, that could be very embarrassing for them. Now, talking of embarrassing, it's time to go back to your emails and some of your efforts at doing better than the Anelka joke, and they're not good. FIFA 09 for Life says, what's the difference between Spurs keeper Gomez and a taxi? A taxi only lets 4 in. Rainer says, what's the difference between Spurs and a triangle? A triangle's got 3 points. He also says, what's the difference between Arsenal and a cup of tea? The tea stays in the cup longer. And to be fair, I like this. Just to be with her says, how come you can't get a cup of tea at Fulham? Because the mugs are all at Chelsea. That's a bit harsh. Elsewhere, our cameraman's laughing. Elsewhere on the emails and on the Football Spy blogs page, hi to all you guys. Tim wants to know the situation on Heskey leaving Wigan and also the on-loan striker Amir Zaki. Well, the Wigan chairman, Dave Whelan, wants to sell Heskey in January as he won't sign a new deal and could go for nothing in the summer. But the Wigan boss, Steve Bruce, says that he wants to keep hold of him. I'd sell him myself. Zaki is interesting because Chelsea apparently are looking at him. Roy the Vanez Tiger, no time to go for all of your points, but I do think Hull can hold on to their keeper Boaz Myhill. They're doing really well. Not so sure about Marlon King, though. Wigan have sounded him out in case they can't keep Heskey. And before I move on, yes, you were right about Hull doing well, and I was wrong. Now, Izam asks why Spurs don't use their second choice keeper, Cesar, instead of Gomez. Well, it's because he's too small. I think you might find he goes on his way in January, Izam. Alex, a Liverpool fan, wants to know if they could get Silva or Villa from Valencia. I think they can, but I think they might look at the way Rafa rotates unnecessarily and decide they're better off elsewhere. Josh wants a Blade Matuidi or Lorik Cana from Marseille, but I wonder if Wenger might be too worried about them keeping his kids out of the side. Joe Fizzy Kamish wants Chelsea to buy Samuel Eto'o from Barca, but I question his desire. He wanted a lot of money from Spurs. They told him where to go. Whew. Now the Express say that West Ham will sell lots of fringe players this January, with the injury-prone Dean Ashton top of their list. Sounds fair enough. The Indies say that Roman Abramovich at Chelsea is trying to exploit his links with Russian football by getting the Brazilian striker Wagner Love on loan. And our own Football Spy page says that the former Liverpool right-back Steve Finnan wants to come back to England. He's at Espanyol at the moment. Blackburn, they say, are watching the situation. Anne's been busy in the Spy office. She's got some cracking footage of some of the players I've been talking about here on the show today. She's got them on the blogs page. The address is at the bottom of the screen. She'll also be updating you on any breaking news that comes out today. And I'll be back tomorrow with all the latest gossip and some tips on the weekend's fixtures. I'll see you then.